Of course, I think I was listening to deleted scenes earlier, and they say one of the reasons this kept getting delayed was because Mahershala Ali I think he kept saying the scripts were terrible he was being given. So I don't know if that's true. If there's any truth, that was a rumor, but
so
yeah.
Before we get too far into this, I think one of the things that a lot of people have pointed to was what's his name? The appearance of Blade in the
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes,
yes.
Yeah, and the whole "I'm the only Blade" thing, and I think a lot of people kind of were like, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
That's not me throwing shade at.
No, he's a good actor. I think he could do it. I'm just.
I because especially based on what I said earlier in the stream, this idea of sometimes it's you just recast and continue on. Don't reboot, just continue on.
Yeah.
But if what he has said is true, it's not it's not the actor that makes or breaks it. It's what scripts they're giving him, and if they suck, then maybe it is better to not do it.
That's what I loved about the first Blade movie, though. It wasn't an origin story. It just, I mean, it went into his origin a little bit in the movie to explain to this character where he came from. But
right.
Basically, it's Blade doing his thing in the beginning, and he's like in the middle of the latest issue of a comic book, like his latest conflict. They didn't, because I think you can do that with superheroes. You don't always have to give an origin story. You can. And I thought they did it beautifully in that movie where they steadily explained, okay, I found, his mother was bitten while she was pregnant and, and all this. And I thought they did a wonderful job. But the Daywalker will have to wait a little bit longer to have his time in the sun. Disney has reported the Marvel rebooted Blade starring Mahershala Ali as the titular half vampire from the release calendar has been removed. Okay. It was dated for November 7, 2025. Disney will instead release Predator Badlands, the sixth film in the Otherworldly franchise, on the early November release date that was held for Blade. Meanwhile, Marvel added 3 untitled projects to the schedule for February 18th, 2028, May 5th, 2028, and November 10th, 2028. Well, what are those? The comic book Empire's decision to take Blade off the docket was widely expected after the CEO Bob Iger stated in an earnings call on May 7th that Marvel will release a maximum of 3 movies a year. Of the 4 superhero films Disney previously slated for 2025, including Captain America, Brave New World, Thunderbolts, The Fantastic Four, First Steps, and Blade. Blade is the only project that hasn't started production. And the director, Yan Damage of Lovecraft Country, also exited the film in June. Yeah, I think this thing's DOA. I mean, it may come back later, but I think it's done. But we still have the Thunderbolts to look forward to, right?
There again, I am going to also say that some of the bigger channels, Culture Casino and Valiant Renegade, have done videos on them, and I would encourage you to check those out. I know that there's been speculation that, for all we know, maybe we will still get another Blade movie, but with Wesley Snipes. I don't know. I have no insight on that.
Yeah. This is an interesting comment, though, if you don't mind me reading this. Kevin Feige is the reason the Blade movie didn't get made, because Feige just wanted to make the movie to replace Blade with his daughter, and everybody around him kept telling him, don't do this. I've heard this before. Have you heard this too?
I have.
And
I don't know if there's any truth to it, but let's face it, it's one of those Poe's Law sort of things where it's like, look, this could be a bunch of BS, but it sure sounds like the kind of thing that Feige and Disney would do. It doesn't sound that far outside the realm of plausibility.
These are the ones always complaining about diversity. Here you have a very popular black superhero. In fact, I would argue the first Blade resurrected the superhero genre after it had died.
Absolutely. The Wesley Snipes Blade really did kind of save Marvel, and one could argue was the first successful Marvel Comics film. I don't want to call him a superhero because I really don't feel like Blade is a superhero, more of an anti-hero, but
Here's the
definitely
thing.
comic book movie.
Blade falls into the line of characters like the Punisher, maybe Ghost Rider to an extent, that the kind of darker edged characters that Marvel had, which I thought should have existed in their sort of their own universe, maybe not. I mean, film wise, I mean, the comics, they exist everywhere, but I thought that would have been interesting. I would try most movies. Like, I thought Blade could have shown up in the Netflix Marvel universe, which apparently is supposed to be taking place in the MCU, but of course it's not canon anymore. So why did they have to make it canon to begin with? Because it didn't make sense for those shows to be canon in the. Never mind.
There's another great example where they decanonized these films, but then brought the actors in to continue those roles, which blurs the lines.
But why did they even decanonize the Netflix series unless maybe there's something conflicting there? Because
there's a rights related issue. It's about whatever's canon for those that those funds go to
because
to
those
Netflix.
shows in a limited way were trying to basically wink at the audience. We're in the MCU as well. Yeah, but
right.
Never mind. Okay, Marvel ruined Black Panther, would ruin Blade. I have no doubt. Yeah, well they didn't have him in the second movie. It's called Black Panther, and he's not in it. I guess the Siri becomes the Black Panther in that. So in the Blade comics, they replaced him with his daughter, and they canceled after her first run. All new, all different Marvel. Okay.
Yeah.
But Blade stands okay. Nothing against the actor they were choosing. I hope he does other stuff. He's been in plenty of good stuff. He was Cottonmouth on Luke Cage. He was great at that.